Have you ever wondered why some women captivate men to the point of unforgettable obsession, while others, despite their best efforts, seem to fade into invisibility? It's not because they lack allure. There exists a profound feminine energy that most never tap into. And it is this energy that acts as an intoxicating elixir at the level of the unconscious. According to Carl Jung, every true connection between two people stems not from words or actions, but from a collision of souls that awakens ancient unconscious forces within them. When a woman unwittingly embodies this archetype, she becomes the very thing a man has always yearned to find, though he cannot name it. In simple terms, men are not addicted to you. They are addicted to the feeling you evoke. A woman who is both familiar and mysterious, tender yet indifferent, present yet unattainable. She is a spiritual storm from which a man cannot escape. In this video, I will reveal the 7 secret layers of feminine energy capable of awakening primal obsession in a man's mind, not through appearances, but through the depths of your being. Some of these layers may shock you, as you've lived with them without ever realizing it. Stay until the end, for the final secret will not only make him obsessed, but may also lead you to see yourself in an entirely new light. Number 1. The anima and the awakening of primal emotions. Within every man's soul resides an image of a woman he cannot put into words. It does not come from the women he meets in real life, but from within him, from the unconscious, from myths, from ancestral experiences passed down through thousands of generations. Carl Jung called this the anima, the inner feminine archetype, dwelling in a man's heart and mind, an inseparable part of his being. The anima is not the idealized woman shaped by societal standards. It is not necessarily like his mother, an ex-lover, or any specific archetype. The anima is a composite of emotions, images, and intuitions that a man craves but does not possess. Softness, emotional depth, sacredness, and mystery. When a woman enters his life and inadvertently activates these emotional layers without reason, he feels drawn to her like a primal force he cannot comprehend. This is the awakening of a man's deepest essence, where reason holds no sway, where logic cannot intervene, and because it is beyond his control, it becomes an obsession. Jung said that when the anima is activated, a man no longer sees a woman as a mere individual. She becomes a symbol. And because of this, he does not simply love her, he craves her, as if searching for himself. Thema often manifests through women with emotional depth, fluidity of spirit, and an elusive quality. They are not always gentle or always fierce. They shift like water, at times still appearing calm, but with the slightest breeze, the entire surface ripples and reflects an unexpected light. She can be tender in one moment, profound in the next, then suddenly sharp and bold without warning. Unpredictable not because she hides herself, but because she lives authentically in every layer of her emotions. Like water, she can become mist ice or rain. She is every version of herself, and none of them are false. She does not fear showing vulnerability, but never loses her independence. She does not chase men because she is too busy living a rich inner world that men can only hope to step into never possess. Jung believed that if a man does not understand the anima within himself, he risks falling into delusion, obsession, or idealization. He may think he is madly in love, but in truth, he is chasing a projection of his own inner shadow, reflected through the woman before him. This is why some relationships are intense and magnetic, but also chaotic and painful, because the man does not love the real woman, but the image within himself that she activates. The anima is not awakened by conforming to others' desires. Thus, a woman does not need to know these theories to touch the anima. She only needs to live authentically, not distorting herself to fit society's mold not suppressing, not conforming. It is her wholeness, complexity, and contradictions that ignite the deepest primal obsession in men. So the great question is, how can a woman reach the anima without knowing the concept? How can she awaken those primal emotions without tactics? The answer lies in the 7 feminine secrets I will reveal next. Before we begin, thank you for choosing us among the countless options out there. Your presence is a great encouragement in our journey to bring Carl Jung's profound insights to more people. So please like and share this video to spread these lessons to your loved ones and friends, or leave a comment saying, "I'm ready to embark on this journey together." Secret number 1, the power of emotional contrast. There is a simple yet rarely recognized truth. Men are not addicted to you as a person. They are addicted to the feelings you stir within them. And those feelings do not come from being cute or sensual, nor from always being kind, accommodating, or well-behaved. They arise from emotional movement, something that leaves him disoriented, alive, intrigued, and unable to look away. This is emotional contrast, a powerful psychological phenomenon rarely taught anywhere. It is not a tactic, it is instinct. It is how you create a crescendo and then fall silent. It is how you make him laugh and then leave a pause that makes him want to know you more. It is how you shift from bright to introspective, from tender to candid, from warm to proud, without contradiction. Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of 2 personalities is like the contact of 2 chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. But for that reaction to occur, there must be an emotional charge. Emotional contrast is that charge. Like touching a live wire, it jolts you. A woman who shows only one emotional tone, always gentle, always positive, always cute, will soon become forgettable. But a woman who dares to live fully in all her emotional shades makes a man want to explore her because he never feels he has fully understood her." Psychological research shows that contrasting and unexpected emotions are potent triggers for dopamine release, the neurotransmitter responsible for excitement, desire, and attachment. The moments of "she's not what I expected" are when he is most drawn in. This is the same mechanism behind why people become addicted to games, movies, or relationships. Not because they are always pleasant, but because they are never the same and always offer a challenge to explore. Imagine this. A woman can playfully tease, making everyone laugh. But when a profound topic arises, her eyes shift, her voice slows, and she shares something deeply sincere. The man listening feels something within him move. He is surprised and curious because she holds so much that others cannot predict. That is when his anima stirs, as she evokes something beyond his control. What is the psychological response? Empathy, attention, and sometimes a slight disorientation. The man is no longer merely attracted physically. He is drawn into your emotional journey. A woman who allows herself to live so authentically in a world where everyone wears masks becomes a dangerous variable. He cannot program her, cannot predict her, and thus cannot control his own emotions around her. Emotional psychology also shows that people remember experiences with high emotional amplitude far more than monotonous ones. If you are only pleasant, he will find you agreeable. But if you make him laugh, move him, intrigue him, and leave him slightly anxious when you're out of touch, you become an emotional anchor in his mind. A place where safe, predictable women cannot compete. A man, no matter how strong, rational, or controlled, will begin to feel pulled into an emotional state he thought himself immune to. However, emotional contrast is not chaos or volatility. It is the ordered flow of opposing emotional layers. Jung saw humans as a whole of opposites, light and dark, conscious and unconscious, masculine and feminine. When a woman allows herself to express all her opposing facets, the man interacting with her is drawn into a process of integrating his being. He is not just attracted to her, he is awakened by the primal emotions she stirs within him. In a modern world where everything is fast and predictable, a woman who brings emotions like a novel with surprising turns on every page keeps a man reading, afraid to miss something precious if he stops. The remarkable thing is, emotional contrast is not something you learn from dating tips. It is the natural result of a woman connecting deeply with her inner world, unafraid to traverse every state, including the darker corners, and embracing them as a beautiful part of herself. When she understands she can be both a cool stream and a blazing fire, a storm and a sunrise, she no longer merely attracts, she awakens. Secret number 2, emotional self-mastery. Emotional contrast draws men in. But what makes a man unable to forget you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Perhaps we'll all gain a fresh perspective. Here we delve into the second secret, the energy of self-mastery. A woman may captivate through her emotional shifts, but she truly inspires lasting longing when she is complete in herself, without needing a man to become her fullest version. Carl Jung once wrote, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." A truly captivating woman does not need a man to feel whole, does not need love to prove her worth, does not need to be chosen to know she is deserving. She is already a complete being before anyone enters her life, and will remain so after they leave. She does not stand waiting for rescue. She loves and nurtures herself every day. In modern psychology, the concept of emotional self-regulation, the ability to manage one's emotional state without relying on external validation, is a form of mental strength few truly cultivate. Modern humans are too accustomed to seeking affirmation from phones, messages, compliments, glances, or others' attention. This often leads women to make relationships the center of their being, as if a missed text, a missed call, or an absence of "I love you" causes their entire emotional world to collapse. In contrast, a woman with emotional self-mastery can feel deeply love, passionately, and yearn intensely. Yet none of these emotions causes her to lose her center. She still goes to the gym on schedule. She completes her projects. She meets friends, reads books, and learns a new language. She finds joy in her own life. And this energy, non-clinging, non-needy, non-begging, is what makes men want to stay. Jung explains this through the concept of individuation, the process of becoming one's true self. He believed that only by stepping away from imposed societal roles and delving into one's authentic being can a person achieve psychological maturity. A woman who enters love before individuation, before knowing who she is, what she needs, what she fears, or what she values, risks losing herself in the other's presence. Every word, action, appearance, or absence of a man directly affects her emotions, as if her heart lies in someone else's hands. Conversely, a woman who is individuated, who knows exactly who she is, does not offer her heart as collateral for love. She gives love because she chooses to not, because she needs completion. She is not swayed by promises, does not cling to relationships. She lives within a relationship but is not consumed by it. She can love deeply, but if the other turns away, she does not crumble. She hurts, but does not break. She grieves, but stands firm. Her center has never been external. Behavioral psychology shows that people value what is scarce and hard to attain. Emotional self-mastery is the rarest, most precious scarcity in matters of the heart. A woman who waits eagerly for texts, sacrifices her time, or drops everything to meet a man the moment he asks, "Are you free?" will not be valued as much as the woman who responds, "I'm busy, but we can arrange to meet this weekend." That response is not cold. And men, though they may not say it, feel the difference in every fiber of their being. Self-mastery is not just attractive. It is protective. It shields you from half-hearted relationships, from those who are unworthy, and from giving too much too soon. A woman who can say no, who can walk away, who can reject unworthy love, creates a lasting, profound allure. She attracts mature, serious men who recognize her worth and yearn to keep her. But when a woman is already whole, standing firm in her world, what makes a man not only respect her, but want to explore her deeper, longer? What sustains attraction even when the novelty fades? Could it be the very thing the mind cannot analyze? Yet the heart endlessly seeks mystery. And true mystery lies not in what you say, but in the space you leave. Secret number 3, mystery and the allure of space. Here we are not talking about mystery as acting aloof to spark curiosity or delaying text replies to seem valuable. Such tactics only scratch the surface, enticing for a few weeks before fading. What truly captivates a man is the space left unfilled by words, unexplained by reason, and irresistible to logic. Carl Jung called this the phenomenon of projection, psychological projection. When a man does not fully understand, you cannot decode you or see all of you. He is not confined by reality. He fills your image with his imagination. Thus you become not just you, but a symbol, an enigma, a reflection of a part of his soul he cannot yet name. This explains why many men admit, "I don't know why I keep thinking about her." There's nothing particularly striking in appearance, nothing explosive in conversation. But the ambiguity, the unhurried pace, the refusal to reveal everything, it lingers, urging him to know more, pulling him in. When all questions are answered, all pieces fit perfectly. Curiosity dies. And when curiosity dies, desire follows. You don't need to keep secrets to be mysterious. You simply avoid giving everything too soon. Refrain from telling your entire life story just because someone asks, and don't become an open book. Anyone can flip to the last page after one conversation. True mystery lies not in hiding, but in reserving your sacred parts for the right moment, the right person, the right emotional depth. Consider a practical example. A man you're getting to know asks about your past relationships. You respond gently, "That's a part of me I share only when I feel safe and we're closer." This is a wise response, not revealing much, yet showing depth. You don't fill the conversation with private stories, leaving space for his imagination and emotions to engage. In behavioral psychology, the Zygonic effect shows that people remember incomplete, unresolved experiences far more than finished ones. The less clear it is, the more he wonders, "What did she mean?" or feels there's something I haven't reached. The more his mind lingers, that is what creates obsession. A woman lacking mystery often wants everything clear from the start. This is my job, my past relationship, my life philosophy, what I like, what I hate. It seems honest and open, but if everything is laid bare immediately, a man has no reason to explore. You've given him everything before he's earned the right to know. Jung noted that mystery is something to be explored, not explained. This is true in emotional attraction. Men don't need to decode you to feel love. They need to feel you are a journey, not a destination. They need to know you have layers, depths, and spaces they long to discover but cannot force. A truly mysterious woman doesn't do this strategically. She doesn't withdraw to be chased or stay silent to be noticed. She simply doesn't give her deepest self to fleeting connections. She doesn't hold back from playing hard to get, but because she knows the value of what remains untold. This is not emotional manipulation. It is the instinct to protect the depth of her soul from hasty consumption. And that protection is the most powerful invitation. A mature man will realize she's not easily accessible, but if one day she chooses to share more with me, it will be a gift. Those who seek only ease will leave, and that is for the best. Not everyone deserves to gang to the depths within you. Secret number 4, finding joy in yourself. Even mystery is merely an alluring mist if there is no true light within you. So what makes a man not only curious about you, but eager to stay to understand, to reach deeper? It's when he senses that you don't need him to find life fascinating. You are already living in a vibrant world of your own, and he, if fortunate, is invited to step inside. There is a paradox in attraction that few understand. The more you chase, the more you lose. The less you try to captivate, the more captivating you become. Jung once said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." When a woman achieves this, when she no longer needs others to confirm that she is interesting, beautiful, or lovable, she radiates a natural, effortless, magnetic energy that cannot be replicated. The joy of her being. Self-amusement is not a cold pretense of "I don't need anyone." It is the quiet exhilaration of living true to your essence, whether anyone is watching or not. It's when you're cooking dinner alone, humming a song you love. It's laughing to yourself over a silly old memory. It's strolling through the city alone, truly enjoying the moment, without needing to post it online or tell someone else to feel validated. A woman who knows how to make herself happy creates an aura of ease around others. She doesn't demand control or cling. She doesn't wait for someone to fill her emptiness because she is already full. When he comes, she welcomes him. When he doesn't, she continues to savor her evening. A good book, an old song, an aimless walk through the streets. She doesn't live in a state of waiting to be chosen. She chose herself long ago. Social psychology shows that people are most drawn to those who exude a relaxed, yet vibrant energy, an effortless state, free from the need to control situations, yet brimming with vitality. Self-amusement is precisely this energy. It makes others feel as though they've stepped into the world of someone living authentically, without needing to prove anything or seek reactions. And the wonder of it is, when you're not trying to make someone laugh, they laugh the most in your presence. Carl Jung believed nothing has a stronger influence psychologically on their children than the unlived life of the parent. The same applies to romantic relationships. Nothing captivates a man more than the energy of a woman living a life unhindered. A man may love your physical beauty, but he becomes obsessed when he thinks of you and remembers how you live. The way you burst into laughter watching a silly video. The way you dance clumsily in the kitchen to music. The way you tell a story full of passion about something small that made your day, like finding a favorite chocolate or running into an old friend at a bookstore. These things may not matter to the world, but they matter to you. And your willingness to let them matter, to live authentically in those small moments, sets you apart. Self-amusement doesn't come from a perfect life. It comes from permission. Permission to enjoy the little things. Permission to fail without self-criticism. Permission to be joyful, sad, playful, or lazy without apologizing for it. Such a woman doesn't need to complicate a conversation. She simply speaks about what lights a spark in her eyes. And a man is drawn not to the content, but to the way her eyes shine when she speaks. Most importantly, self-amusement makes you less vulnerable to hurt. You don't place your entire happiness in someone else's hands. When he leaves, you don't lose your emotional self-mastery. You may feel sad, but you'll still go to work the next morning, buy flowers to place on your table, and smile because the sky is bluer today than yesterday. This continuity, uninterrupted by another's presence or absence, is what makes you free. Secret number 5. being fully present in every moment. Even the most radiant self-derived joy cannot deeply touch another if you remain confined to your world. The question is, when you are with someone, are you truly there? Not just in words, but in a complete presence. And listening, a living energy that connects, undistracted, undivided. A person who can laugh alone is living for themselves, but a person who makes another feel seen, heard, and understood in every moment spent together is the one who inspires a man to stay, because he feels truly present with you. And the feeling of being fully present is one of the deepest needs of the human soul, yet desperately rare in this age. Carl Jung described self-development not only as self-awareness, but as the ability to be fully present in reality. It's when you're not drifting through a conversation, not checking your phone every 5 minutes, not interrupting to talk about yourself. You are there, looking, listening, responding from depth, not reflex. Reality shows that men deeply desire to be with women who make them feel heard without being corrected. For example, when he shares about work stress or uncertainties, he isn't seeking advice. He simply wants to express himself and feel understood. If you interrupt with, "I've been there too, I think you should," you may dampen his emotions and his desire to share. Sometimes, your silence is the greatest comfort you can offer. Behavioral psychology calls this empathic resonance, emotional attunement. When you are fully present without doing much, your energy naturally aligns with the other person's frequency. They feel at ease. They speak more truthfully. They share things they've never told anyone. And when someone can be their authentic self safely in your presence, you become the place they want to return to. Presence doesn't come from practicing communication skills. It comes from the ability to endure silence, uncertainty, and raw emotion without needing to fill the space with anything. A man may encounter many beautiful, accomplished, or charming women, but if one day he sits with a woman who, while talking, allows him to feel, he doesn't need to try to be interesting, doesn't need to keep the mood light, doesn't need to prove himself. He will feel safe on a level deeper than physical or romantic attraction. That level of connection cannot be created through technique, only through pure presence. In healing therapies, it's been found that the presence of a grounded person has more power than any pill or analysis, because the wounded don't need to be explained. They need someone to stay with them without making them feel wrong for being sad. And men, however strong they appear, need this more than they admit. A woman who is truly present is not just a partner. She is an anchor no one names, but everyone feels. Secret number 6, strategic scarcity. When a woman is fully present in each moment, she makes the other person feel seen, heard, and alive. But what happens when the man leaves that moment? The question isn't about when you're present, but the feeling after you're gone. And here, one of the most powerful principles of attraction comes into play: strategic scarcity. What makes people yearn is not what they always have, but what they can touch, yet never fully possess. In psychology, this is the scarcity bias, the tendency to value what is rare, unstable, or uncertain. Jung said, "The pendulum of the mind oscillates between sense and nonsense, not between right and wrong." And people are most drawn not to what is rational, but to what makes their minds waver, wonder, and imagine. That's why an unpredictable woman is often the one a man remembers longest. Strategic scarcity is not a manipulative game of ignoring him to make him want you. It is about not absolutizing your presence. It's about not always being available, not always predictable, not letting your life revolve around someone's texts, calls, or schedules. If you're always there when he needs you, always agree. When he asks you out, always reply instantly. When he messages your presence, however loving becomes expected. and predictability is the opposite of attraction. Picture this in real life, something you may have done yourself. After a stressful week of work and a packed schedule, you treat yourself to a weekend morning of yoga coffee with friends and reading a few pages of a book. Your phone buzzes, a message from the man you're dating. What are you up to? Want to meet this morning? You might miss him, but instead of dropping your plans, you respond honestly yet gently. I've got plans this morning. If you'd like, we can meet this afternoon after 4. You don't rush to him as if his invitation defines your worth. You're not always readily available, not out of aloofness, but because you respect your schedule as you respect yourself. The man reading that message may feel a slight pang of disappointment, but immediately another emotion emerges: respect. He sees you prioritize yourself and your time isn't easily won. That's when attachment begins to form. He realizes you're not dependent. You choose him, but he's not your center. This makes every moment with you special, not to be taken for granted. Strategic scarcity also stems from unpredictability. A woman who always texts first, always initiates, always keeps the conversation going, makes a man feel he doesn't need to try. And human instinct, like that of a hunter, is such that without effort, there's no emotional investment. But when you occasionally withdraw your energy, let silence linger a bit longer, allow space to form. He begins to think. Wonder, question, imagine. And that time of wondering is when emotional connection takes root deeper than any long conversation. Jung said, "What we do not bring to consciousness appears in our lives as fate." This holds in the unconscious patterns we create in love. Women who've been abandoned often unconsciously compensate by always initiating, always being present, always proving their feelings, hoping not to be forgotten. But the paradox is this: being too present, too quick, too available dilutes your emotional value. Not because you're not enough, but because you've let someone access all of you too soon, too easily, without requiring investment. A woman who understands this principle doesn't use it to manipulate relationships. She uses it to protect her energy. She knows not everyone deserves all she carries. She lets someone approach her gradually, letting the relationship grow naturally. Not too rushed, not too slow. Some days she might text a lot. Other days she's absent, busy with friends, not because she's playing cat and mouse, but because her life doesn't revolve around love. Strategic scarcity lies in the sense that you cannot be fully possessed. A woman who leaves an aftertaste, who doesn't say everything, who doesn't share every story, who doesn't open her life like an emotional catalog, inspires investment. And once someone invests, they are loath to let go. Secret number 7, giving a man the opportunity to show. When you're not overly present, when you know how to create just enough space, a man begins to invest more and reveal himself to win your favor. There's a truth in psychology that anyone who is truly loved has experienced. We don't value what comes easily, nor do we feel attached to what requires no effort. This doesn't mean love should be exhausting, but rather that emotions deepen when they are cultivated, not handed over on a platter. Jung once said, "What you resist not only persists, but will grow in size." People are driven to act not by what they easily attain, but by what stirs their instinct to conquer, overcome, contribute, and prove themselves. A man will not truly bond with a woman if he isn't challenged emotionally and given the chance to invest in that connection. Inspiring a man to invest doesn't mean issuing demands. It's not about saying, "You must do ABC for me to take you seriously." It's a different energy entirely. Winning my regard isn't easy, and it's the feeling of growing in your presence that forms the strongest foundation for deep, lasting attachment. What makes a man want to invest is the sense that every interaction with you awakens the best parts of him, not because you train him or overly praise him, but because the way you respond to his presence makes him feel valuable. Behavioral psychology has a clear principle. The more someone invests in a relationship, the more attached they feel to it. Conversely, if one person gives everything, while the other only receives, the bond becomes fragile, easily broken. A woman who always leads the relationship, never giving the man a chance to show himself, makes him feel superfluous. No one wants to be a bystander in their relationship. Inspiring investment also means allowing yourself to receive care and help. When you face difficulties, don't always say, "I'm fine." When you need support, don't rush to say no out of fear of seeming weak or dependent. That's giving someone the chance to step into your inner world. And men quite naturally feel more bonded to women they've protected, comforted, or done something different for. Ultimately, it's not gifts, promises, or indulgence that keep a man. It's the feeling that when he's with you, he becomes a better version of himself. He feels he's investing not just in you, but in a better version of himself. And that's something no one easily abandons, even through periods of silence, distance, or challenges. Picture yourself as a pristine forest, needing no one's praise, no signposts, no explanations. Those who enter feel something sacred, quiet, and inexplicable. It's life but not loud. It's beautiful but not pandering to popular taste. You don't need to step outside yourself to be captivating. You simply need to rest in your truest essence. And from there, everything meant for you will find its way. Carl Jung said, "Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart." When you start living from the inside out rather than the outside, and you no longer need to learn how to make someone fall for you, because you are the wind that cannot be caught. The light that cannot be held, yet once touched, never forgotten. If this video resonates with you, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications today. I also want to leave you with a question to sit with, one that could transform your journey ahead if you dare to answer it with your heart. Are you ready to embark on the path of understanding yourself and awakening the wholeness within?